Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 9 o'clock, so you don't miss out on any of the comic goodness. And how do you do that, you say? You just head on over to infinityflux.net right now. Super easy if you don't have an account there. It takes no time to set one up. Everything you pre-order, it doesn't cost anything to set up an account.
It does cost money for the comics, right?
Comics, yeah, but setting up the account is free, and everything that you pre-order, you get 10% off of. That's like 10% free off.
Yeah, that's
how math works.
That's some good math.
But we've got a great show for you today.
Yeah, and real quick, before we start, just like a few weeks ago, this is Comics from the Future, but we are coming to you from the past because we are recording this again on Wednesday, the 26th. It's my fault. I have a prior engagement on Friday again, so I wasn't able to be here on Friday, so we're doing this now. So you guys know the drill by now. There is a small chance that something we talk about right now may get the deadline to pre-order may get pushed out. You can still pre-order if it's on the website. Maybe there's a couple covers that might pop up, but by the time you see this video on Friday, the website should be 100% accurate. Everything that is on there you can pre-order. So, but we're just doing this a couple days early. That's all.
Yeah, you're so popular that we've had to squeeze these around.
I know, right? I got a
popularity schedule.
I got to pencil you guys in, right?
Well, we're going to start off with our Prime comic pre-orders.
And we are starting with Spider-Verse versus Venomverse #1. This is written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. The art is by Luciano Vecchio, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
This is the showdown between the Spider-Verse and the Venomverse. We had that Spider-Verse one-shot a couple weeks ago. The Venomverse one is coming soon, where some champions are being picked because there's this big battle coming in. And this is that big battle. The only problem is I don't know why they're fighting. The solicitation doesn't mention anything about
the Spider-Verse one. The web of life and destiny or whatever was like, I just need champions because the Venoms are coming.
Yeah.
And it's like, but why are they coming?
Why are they coming? Yeah, so we don't know why they're fighting. We just know that they are going to fight. It does mention Spider Prowler. Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
And it does actually mention the other Venom, which we don't know about yet because we haven't read the Venomverse. But if you're going to read both of those and you want to see them come together, this is the book to get. So we have our A cover right here. There is a Greg Land variant, and oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
And there is a Javier Garron foil variant.
Yeah, I wonder if this is, at least for now, going to, end the Spider-Verse Venomverse thing that's been going on for years now, but it feels like this is what they've been building to, really.
Yeah, and do we know if this is a miniseries?
I think it is.
Because we thought the last one was a miniseries, and they were just 2 one-shots, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, if this is not a miniseries, then it would be a oversized one-shot. But I think this is going to be like a 5-issue miniseries. Well, next up, we've got another really cool one. This is Godzilla versus X-Men. This will be our 4th of the Godzilla Versus books, even though we just got the first one this week with Godzilla versus Fantastic Four. So these are, going to be coming over for the course of quite a while. And this one is written by Fabian Nicieza, which is awesome, a classic X-Men writer, and the art is by Emilio Lazo. And in this one, with the Fantastic Four, you could kind of tell when it took place or whatever. Yep. I'll be interested to know, is this like, given the clothes they're wearing and everything, maybe 90s X-Men?
I hope it is,
and with Nicieza writing, that was like the prime time.
I hope so.
But it does say, when a robotics firm draws the kaiju's anger, the X-Men are called in to protect a world that hates and fears them from the counterattack of Godzilla. But are the X-Men on the right side, or maybe Godzilla's doing something good? And if they, don't stop Godzilla, it seems like maybe the company, the firm, or whoever are going to unleash some Sentinels to fight Godzilla, which I kind of hope happens. I think that would be awesome to see. But I'm very interested to see what twists and turns are going to happen in this, much like the Fantastic Four ones, had some grandiose scale things happening. I'll be interested to see here.
And about the time periods, I wonder if we don't know about. I don't know about the Hulk one, but I wonder if these are like set in the time period that is like the most popular for that character.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was in the 60s or fell in line with the stories from the 60s. This one maybe the 90s when the X-Men were huge. The Spider-Man one is set in line with the books from the 80s when he first got the alien suit. Like maybe it's something like that.
Or they're just picking like what is the most like iconic
right,
moment. So sounds really cool. I'm excited for this one. So we've got our A cover here by Tony Daniel, which is really nice. I love the classic Gambit, the classic Cyclops. So cool. We also have a homage cover to Godzilla King of the Monsters.
I love Beast throwing Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's, maybe his fastball special is not quite as intense as Colossus is, but still good. There is an Ivan Coelho cover, which, I mean, again, love that Cyclops. And it looks like Beast is also... Maybe he threw Wolverine and then
Jean
caught him.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, too fast. We also have the Lee Garbett Versus cover. The Mike McCone foil cover, which is going to look great. A Nick Bradshaw monster homage cover. And a Turn Clark variant as well. Cyclops in his leather coat and everything.
It's got to be. All of these covers have their 90s garb on. It's got to be set during that period.
The best period.
Yep. Next up is Wolverine and Kitty Pryde #1. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries. This is written by Chris Claremont, and the art is by Damian Cusero. And this is set after the original Wolverine and Kitty Pryde miniseries from back, I want to say it was in the 80s. So it's another one of those retro miniseries that Marvel's been putting out. And this tells the full story of Wolverine and Kitty Pryde's journey in Japan before they returned to the X-Men back then in those original books. So not sure what their journey's going to, like where it's going to lead them, that kind of thing. We just know that, it's going to kind of flesh that out a little bit. There was another miniseries about...
was it the Madripoor one?
Yeah, it was because it was set during like the Outback era.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it was, I think it was Wolverine too. It was before he went on some kind of mission, and then this was
there was an issue where he's like, I got something to go do.
Yeah,
and it's like that's what he went to.
That's what he went to do. So series. this is going to be similar to that, and of course a great cover by Alan Davis here. That's our A cover. We have a Granov variant. There is that's 80 Granov. I didn't realize that. Marvel. There's a Marvel versus Capcom variant.
I think that doesn't. No, this is the. That is not. I don't think that.
That's Granov. Yeah, that looks like Granov. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure what that one is. Is the Ricky Yagawa cover next? Yeah, I think so. And then Todd Knock. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what that cover in the middle was there.
I don't know why if it is, I don't know why it's a Marvel versus Capcom, because that would make sense with that.
And it may be we're doing this 2 days early and the covers aren't finalized. That actually happens sometimes where, like on Wednesday, the covers will be a little off with the description, but by the time Friday rolls around, they've been corrected with the solicitation. So
the stuff is like up until I think noon on Friday.
Yeah.
They're messing with it.
Yeah.
Next up, we have one that I'm very excited about. I just got in the Kickstarter for the Medieval Spawn figure,
oh
which is incredible with like tons of heads and weapons and magnetic armor. Super cool. So I am jonesing for some Medieval Spawn. This is Medieval Spawn #1. It's gonna be a 4-issue miniseries written by Rory McConneville, and the art is by Marco Itri. And this is really cool. So I was always under the impression with the original Medieval Spawn that it took place in the past of the main Spawn universe, but I think it was actually almost like an Elseworld of like, what if this exact same scenario with Al Simmons, but this is not Al Simmons, but like if the same thing happened but in a fantasy world. So that's what this is going to be, is exploring kind of the untold tales of Medieval Spawn, the background of one of the most famous iterations of the Hellspawn. He's going to be fighting dragons, wizards, and hordes of monsters. I looked ahead to issue 2. Be like, does it clarify what the miniseries is going to be about? But I think it talks about in issue 2, he goes into a troll cave to rescue somebody or something. It's like, this all just sounds really, really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would necessarily want to be the artist having to draw medieval Spawn and his crazy armor every
panel. Yeah.
But I commend them, and I think this is going to be really cool. So this is your A cover, and there's also a Todd McFarlane and Matina. I think kind of work together on this
Did
one.
McFarlane do the inks maybe or no?
Yeah, that might be. That's what he does a lot of
Yeah.
now is the inks, and then there is a blank gray, medieval gray sketch blank.
Next up is Captain Planet #1. And for those, I was going to say, for those who don't know, Captain Planet, he's a hero. He's going to take pollution down to 0.
He failed.
He did. He failed big time. Maybe that's why he's been gone for so long. So this is written by David Pepose.
Said the power is yours. Are you going to do a Captain Planet, or am I going to do it?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's a lot of pressure because only I can prevent forest fires too, right? So there's a lot going on. So this is written by David Pepose. The art is by Iman Casalos. And this sounds like it's a retelling of the original cartoon. Just like how Thundercat. Well, I guess Thundercats was, but until it diverged,
a little bit, yeah.
But so we got that with Thundercats, we got that with Silverhawks, and now we're getting it with this. So Gaia, the High Priestess of the Earth, she is kidnapped by a villain, the main villain of the series called Lucian Plunder, and the Planeteers, the 5 kids who get their elemental rings, they are going to have to come together and call upon the might of Captain Planet to rescue her, which sounds exactly like what I watched on TV when I was a kid. So yeah, it's been a long, long time since Captain Planet has really done anything, and now he's back with a beard and
without a mullet.
Yeah, and right, and he moved the mullet around to his face, and some tree shoulder pads, I guess.
Yeah, I looked up some. The artist was posting some pages from this, and it does look like Captain Planet has wood shoulder pads that kind of come out of that. I don't know if it's maybe based on, for this element thing, he's going to do this.
Oh,
There's also a part where so he's flying and someone shoots at him, and he makes a shield on his back that's purple, and I don't know, is that made of heart or something? I don't know, but I'm really interested in this. I always really liked Captain Planet, but I feel like the idea of him was better than the execution.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be really cool. There's also a lot of character designs and stuff out there that you can check out that the artist has posted as well that are really... the kids are a little bit more modernized, maybe a little bit older.
Yeah. So this is our A cover by Mark Spears. There is a Lee and Chung variant, J. Lee and Chung variant. There's a Christian Ward cover and an Oliver cover.
Yeah, very interesting.
Also, they look more like rocks there on his shoulders.
Yeah. Captain Planet's always been interesting though too, because it's he's one of those classic Power Rangers things. We're gonna fight, but we all know eventually we're gonna summon the Megazord. We're gonna summon Captain Planet, and he didn't have a whole lot of personality or kind of where did he come from, that kind of thing. I'm interested. Dig deep. That's what he was doing with Pepose is doing with Space Ghost. Dig deep into Captain Planet. What makes that man tick? Next up, we have one that I think sounds really cool. This is Los Monstruos, and this is a new series by James Robinson and Jesus Marino on art. And this is set in a 1950s, a very unique American city called Los Monstruos, where the entirety of the population is made up of classic monsters from movies and folklore. So vampires, man monsters, werewolves, mummies, and plenty of other weird things walk the streets. And that's that's the entirety of the community. See back there, the Horrorwood sign and the pyramid. I'll get to that in a second. In this, we meet Peter Cutter, who is our werewolf on the cover. He is Werewolf PI, which is already just a great title for
I love that image. You've got your classic-looking werewolf character with a gun,
because, he needs a little extra help, I guess. He has just foiled a Gilman kidnapping when another case falls into his lap. The case involving finding a missing vampiress. And it should be easy enough, but he's going to find himself kind of between some crime bosses. The Pyramid Casino owner, Ramsey. So I guess that's the Pyramid Casino
back there.
in the background.
I thought that was a sky for a minute. Yeah, that's a pyramid.
And hard-boiled team of vampire cops known as the Night Shift. So it sounds like, yes, there's going to be these mysteries, but also it's just exploring this really cool world. It's a wonderful city full of monsters and mystery. So yeah, you see some of the characters in the background there, just crazy stuff. Ghosts and demons and a guy with a giant head. Uh, Looks like almost like a Fin Fang Foom in the background. So this sounds great. James Robinson is great. So I think this is going to be really fun. And there's some great covers for this where you get a little bit more feel of the series. So this is your A cover by Jesus Marino. This is your interior artist.
And I love that cover, and I love that design for Wolfman, and it's so cool. Or I don't know if it's Wolfman, but whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that that's what the interior is going to look like. Maybe not quite so polished, but that's the designs. That's what it's going to look like.
There's also a Harris cover, which you got a mummy there, a Dracula, a swamp creature, a detective-looking normal guy.
Maybe is that him?
That might be him before he turns into a werewolf. There is a Martin cover.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really
kind of movie poster looking.
There is a Perez cover. I love that too. Of like, I'm a Wolfman, but I'm still gonna wear this like detective get up. And a Dan Panosian cover.
It's more like a dog there.
Yeah. Or like he's kind of got a bat nose.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, next up is Absolute Martian Manhunter #2. #1 came out today, and it is fantastic. This one, now I like the solicitation for this one because even this one little sentence helps me sort of rationalize #1 in my brain, because it says the other dimensional alien consciousness, calling itself the Martian, continues its invasion and transformation of John Jones' mind. Because I remember we read the first issue several weeks ago, for the very first time, and we weren't quite sure what to make of it back then. And we were like, is there something, another entity in his head? Is he imagining all this, or are these abilities that he has, or what? So now we know that, yeah, there is another entity of some sort. We were just talking about this. We don't know if it's ever going to manifest itself physically, but there is something, there's like another presence in his mind. It's not just him, and it is alien. We were wondering about that too. So, there's something going on there. And John Jones, a little unbeknownst to him, he has been drafted into a cosmic war that will make him question the nature of reality and test his belief in good, evil, and free will. And the free will part, I think, is interesting too, because what if the Martian starts to take over, you know? And I love this. It says, the weirdest hero of the Absolute Universe gets even weirder in this mind-bending, soul-bearing issue #2. So yeah, just more cool stuff. Now, also, I don't know if we mentioned this before. This is only a 6-issue miniseries, whereas all of the other, like, I'm pretty sure Flash and Green Lantern too, right? Like I'm not sure. We know for certain that Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, they are all ongoings. There is no question about that. This is a 6-issue miniseries, so this is not like those. Flash and Green Lantern, I think, are ongoings as well. So this might be the only miniseries. We were talking to, it'd be cool if there was like one Absolute book that was a rotating, 6 issues, and then another character and another character. So, but I can't wait for this, just to see this weirdness, kind of grow and what else happens. And I love the cover. I love it's like a buddy cop thing. Yeah, I want to see that.
I'm really interested too, because the incident where before he didn't have this entity and after he did doesn't really lend itself to something like this happening. So I want to know, like, why did that thing?
What about that incident made this happen? It's not like he got abducted by an alien. He's just in the wrong place at the wrong time and the bomb went off,
Yeah, there's so many cool mysteries about this. All the while, it's crazy psychedelic.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. I cannot wait for this one. This is our A cover by Javier Rodriguez, your interior artist. There is a Crystal Kung variant. There is a Christian Ward variant and a Jeff Spokes connecting variant. Was there a Jeff Spokes? Was there a #1 of these? Does it connect with?
I think it maybe connects with the issue #2s. Because I think Absolute Flash #2 has a Spokes cover as well. So that would be interesting if maybe each issue has a connecting cover by a different artist.
Yeah.
Because the first has a Raphael Albuquerque.
Right.
Is the connecting one through Flash, Martian Manhunter, and Green Lantern.
Okay,
so
interesting.
Yeah, it'd be cool to keep an eye on these. Next up, we have another great Absolute book. This is Absolute Wonder Woman #7. And #6 came out this week, and I loved it. It's a cool kind of change of pace from the previous issues and storyline. as Wonder Woman has found herself in the underworld. And at least in the first one, is kind of explaining how she got one of her magic lassos. But there is a twist at the end of that issue that is setting up what happens in this one. But I won't give it away. But in this, Diana is lost in the underworld. She has escaped it once before, but can she do it again? And what is the price Diana or Cersei must pay to escape? So I feel like, in the previous arc it had what price is Diana willing to pay? Well, she cut her arm off, so that's a big price.
What other price? I mean, how many prices is she gonna pay, right?
Yeah,
she's like, I got 2 arms, 2 legs. That's at least 4 chances right there.
Yeah. So this is the part 2 of this 2-part kind of interlude story. Plus, this has part 2 of Lil Diana by Kelly Thompson and Dustin Nguyen in the back of it, which is so much fun in the first issue. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't have to tell you to subscribe to Absolute Wonder Woman. It's fantastic, but we all celebrate this together every time we talk about it, of how great it is. We've got our A cover right here. We also have a Jessica Fong cover, which is really cool. I like the kind of one glowing eye she has.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. And we have a Declan Shalvey cover as well.
Next up is Batman number 159, which is part 2 of Hush 2. Part 1 came out this week, or today as we're recording, and it's really cool. The original team of Hush is back. Jeff Loeb, Jim Lee, all those guys. And the first part was a bit of a setup issue. We saw, Batman thwarting a crime with the Joker, and then all the stuff that came after that. And there's not much information about this issue in particular. It just says that after the shocking events of last issue, and there's some pretty brutal stuff in the first part, Batman must make the hardest decision of his life. I have no idea what that is going to be, what that decision is. We have a stack of ash cans that give us a preview to part 2, but I looked through it. Doesn't really tell us much. There's no dialogue in it.
I have a feeling I know what the decision is based off of issue 1 and a little bit of what happens to the ash can, but I won't reveal it because it would reveal something about the first issue.
Yeah, okay, you can tell me later. Because I didn't really pick up on anything. I was like, what? I can tell you in part 2, he sits in a chair a lot, But, and it does say that, this is going to guest star, again, Nightwing and Barbara Gordon and also Jason Todd. So, Jason Todd was not in the first part, so it'd be cool to see him. So, we have our Jim Lee and Scott Williams A cover. There's a Andy Kubert variant. There's a Gabriel Dell'Otto variant. Julian Totino Tedesco variant. There's a Joe Quinones April Fool's variant. I like the black or the green and red.
Mm-hmm.
And a Jim Lee and Scott Williams foil variant version of the A cover.
Yeah, and you can kind of get a good look at that Batman costume he has in this, which I really like.
Yeah, keep that.
Yeah, keep that Batman.
Always, because I don't love the idea of Batman having like super duper Kevlar under his suit, because then he's like bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
I want him to dodge bullets, but I always thought it was cool for him to have like high-tech gauntlets.
Yeah.
So he can like do stuff here. Like if the gauntlets are big and high-tech, that's okay. But I want the rest to be just like
he
spandex.
can like scale walls with like hooking them into and stuff. Yeah, I always like that. Well, next up we have a big one. You can see this is a wraparound cover for Superman number 25. Issue number 24 came out this week. It was awesome. It was huge. You talked about before, there's about 3 pages in a row where every time you turn the page, it's like, what? Oh my gosh. And then a big final page. Well, this is going to be a oversized issue celebrating the 25th, they call it a milestone of this run of Superman. And it is also celebrating the first 2 years of this run.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read 24, you know that it actually does call back all the way to the first issue and kind of clarifies some of the story beats we didn't even know we were asking.
Right.
And in this one, Lex has returned, but with a twist. If you read 24, you know what this is. And he's ready to fight Superman for control of Supercorp and Metropolis. So, yeah, just that I feel like is just barely brushing the surface of what is going to be in here. It does also say it picks up on story beats from the Summer of Superman one-shot that we're getting, and it sets up a brand new storyline for the rest of the year that I can only imagine what it's going to be, but I know it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I gotta say,
yeah, very cool.
you know, this week we had Hush 2. We had Absolute Martian Manhunter #1. We had some big books this week. For me, my pick of the week was Superman 24 because of those shocking moments that I did not see coming. There was no solicitation that spoiled it. There were no covers coming up that spoiled anything. I genuinely was shocked 3 times, and it's rare that a comic does that these days. So, and they have like huge like they've been playing the long game, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my pick of the week for sure, and I am super excited for this one.
No pun intended.
No pun. Well,
Or maybe you
maybe
did.
a little pun
Maybe
intended.
you did
Subconsciously.
Subconscious pun intended.
Yeah.
So we've got our A cover here by Dan Mora. We have a Raphael Grassetti cover, who did a cover for 24. We have a Gilliam March cover. What? Watch out, Superman.
Yeah.
We have a Jeff Dacol cover. A Brad Walker cover. I love this one. I'm a sucker for any time the Reign of the Superman characters show up anywhere. I love Cyborg Superman, Steel, Eradicator, Superboy with the fade. So cool. And we also have a Dan Hip April Fool's cover as well.
Next up is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Roadblock. And this is another one of these silent mission one-shots. We've had Beachhead, or they haven't come out yet, but I think Beachhead comes out next week, I'm pretty sure. But we've already talked about Beachhead. We've talked about Jinx. Roadblock is the next one, kind of homaging the original G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero #21, the famous silent interlude issue. This is another one that has no dialogue, and it features Roadblock. He pits his 50 cal against a Cobra convoy led by the Wild Weasel. And I grew up with G.I. Joe, but I do not remember Wild Weasel. I don't know which one that is. But so yeah, just it should be another cool one. All these silent mission books are really neat. So this is our A cover, and then we have a Jorge Fornes variant also.
They're silent issues, meaning no one talks.
Right.
But I imagine that would be, if you could hear it, a very noisy issue.
A very loud issue. I don't know if there's like big sound effects.
I don't know either. That'll be interesting to see. We also got the Spirit one we talked about last time too.
Oh, that's right.
It's going to be really cool. Next up, we have more Essential Comics, because there's some big ones still on here, like Justice League Unlimited #6. This is going to be part 2 of We Are Yesterday. So part 1 is in Batman Superman.
Yeah, I think it's World's Finest #38.
Finest, yeah. And then we have part 2 right here. Even though issue 5 of Justice League Unlimited that came out this week did kind of set up some of the events in this. In issue 5, we did learn the identity of the Inferno cult, which has been plaguing the Justice League since the beginning of the series. And the Legion of Doom is here to take no prisoners. But something is off about the Legion of Doom. Probably that they might be working with the Justice League. That does seem a little off. But it does say that, you know, they seem like they don't have as much experience and stuff. So we'll have to find out what all of that means, even though I kind of think I know what it means. But very, very cool Justice League story going on right now. So don't miss out on this. We've got our A cover. We have a Lee Bermejo cover. We have a Nathan Zerdy cover. I love seeing McGann on there. That's really cool.
Wasn't there...
Hawk Girl and Zatanna was on the one.
Was that on World's Finest? Or was that this...
That was on Justice League.
Oh, from this... Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we also have a... this is the Mark Spears cover as well, with Dr. Occult, who's played a pretty big role in this.
Yeah. All right, so next up we have Superman the World. Now, this is a hardcover, but it's not a collected edition. This is an original story, and this is much like the Batman the World book that came out, I want to say a year or two ago, and then there was a Joker the World. This is by a bunch. This is an anthology book, basically, by a bunch of different writers and artists. It's 15 countries from around the world tell tales that highlight what makes Superman the greatest superhero of all. The solicitation didn't go into what some of those stories might be about, but if you've seen Batman the World and Joker the World, this is the same kind of thing, just with Superman. And I do remember seeing the Batman one, and you know, it's all different art styles, all different types of storytelling, you know, because there's a lot of different cultures throughout all these countries, and now Superman is going to get the same treatment. And this is going to be a hardcover. This is going to be $24.99. So it feels like a collected edition, but yeah, it's
all original stuff.
It's all original stuff, yeah, and just this one cover.
Next up, we have Peacemaker Presents Vigilante Eagly double feature, number 2 of 5. We got number 1 this week. It was a lot of fun. If you're a fan of the Peacemaker HBO series, the James Gunn Peacemaker, you will love this because even though it is not in that universe, it might as well be with the tone and the humor and all of that. In this one, it doesn't say a whole lot about something that we didn't already know or what was in the first issue. Peacemaker, it says Peacemaker's gone and the controller is behind everything. At least that's what Vigilante thinks. Even though he kind of made all that up in his head. No help to Peacemaker, kind of brushing him off. So that is the Vigilante side. And on the Eagly side, Eagly and Peacemaker find themselves surrounded by random people and being hunted by a mysterious foe. It says that is like sniping people one by one. So pretty scary stuff. But yeah, the Vigilante part, especially the last page of his story, is just brutal. And he's someone that you don't want to get in the way of at all. Really fun cover here.
What is even going on here? Like, there's some, like, he's shooting a transformer from Temu, you know?
And Eagly has a mouse, but it's like a dead cartoon mouse and
Yeah,
stuff.
this is crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like this is like what's in Vigilante's head, what
Right,
he's doing.
right, yeah.
So we've got our A cover right here. We have a Tom Fowler cover. This is really fun. Who's your best bud? Which they're fighting over who is. And a Juan Gedeon cover, which I love the...
That looks like one of those new McFarlane figures,
Yeah.
the ones that are big, swole, but with the little heads. That kind of looks like that. All right, so sorry about that. Next up, we have Kid Juggernaut number 1. This collects the Marvel Voices Infinity comic, all six parts of that, and is the origin of Justin Jin, who is Kid Juggernaut from Avengers Academy. And I believe his father passed on to him a sliver of the gem of Sidorak that Juggernaut has. So I guess that's how he gets his powers. I haven't read this, so I don't know his full origin. But yeah, we've got another Juggernaut on the scene, and this no word. A lot of times these physical collections of digital books have a little bit of new material. No word on that or not, but we do know it at least collects those 6 issues of the digital book. And yeah, with the new Kid Juggernaut, this is our A cover, and we have a Dyke Ran cover. I like that one.
Do we know if is Kid Juggernaut different than J2 from like the 90s?
I believe so.
He's a different
I'm
character.
pretty sure, yeah.
They should fight.
Right.
And Spider-Knot.
Oh
just
my
have
God.
them all run their heads at each other.
All the knots. Just yeah.
Knot verse.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't give Marvel any ideas.
So next up we have Ultimate Spider-Man number 16. And the series continues to be amazing, and this one sounds really cool.
The other series is amazing.
Oh yeah, this one's absolutely
that's wrong too.
I'm running out of adjectives that don't refer to something else. Right. This one sounds ultimate. This is Ultimate Spider-Man number 16, The Secret Origin of Mysterio, which Mysterio has played a very interesting role in the series so far. Kind of not getting his hands dirty, but being there when stuff happens. Lurking, kind of popping up out of nowhere. Peter, in this, is about to learn more than he bargained for about who is inside the smoky helmet. And it also does mention Kingpin doesn't even know who Mysterio is, but Spider-Man is going to learn, and maybe that's going to give him a leg up on it. So this is your A cover. We also have a Michael Walsh cover.
That's what I'm getting. That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. And a Sandoval Ultimate Special cover, which Sandoval's been doing a lot of these. He did the one with Sandman for the issue that just came out.
Okay, next up is Planet Death, number 0 of 4. This is a new book from Bad Idea. We haven't had anything from them in a while. Now, this is one of those where the solicitation was like this long.
Yeah.
So I'll try to paraphrase this. So basically, they're a million miles from home. There's hundreds of ships that descend into this this frozen world. It's like a stormy, frozen wasteland, and all these ships are coming in. And on board those ships is an army of resolute men and women who are bracing for the coming assault. They are an invasion force on a mission to destroy the devastating enemy weapon below. I'm not sure what that is, but there's all these ships coming in, and they're going to attack this one thing. and there's a character named Corporal Scott and his battalion. They are in the vanguard, but the human forces are no match for the brutal alien adversary. So there's these things on the ground that are ready for him. And Scott's battalion is dead within moments, and he is a lone survivor. I just love the idea of all these. It says hundreds of ships descend on this one planet, and they get wiped out almost instantly. So Corporal Scott is the only remaining survivor. So he decides to do the mission on his own against overwhelming odds. Scott dares the unthinkable to cross behind enemy lines, survive the lethal landscape, and evade capture by ruthless enemies, and face the human deserters and finish the mission single-handedly. So
it sounds like a video game.
It does sound like a video game, or almost like yeah, I think so. And so basically all these soldiers get wiped out, and there's one guy left, and he's like, you know what? I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna try. So I like that stick to itiveness. He's very determined.
Yeah, I'm getting like Gears of War, Warhammer, a little bit of Lost Planet in there with the snow.
Right.
And
all I love.
That's a great game.
Yeah. And this is our only cover.
Next up, we have Bug Wars, issue number 3 of 6. This sounds awesome. As Slaymaker, fights for his life against a horde of hungry mosquitoes.
Ooh.
And when you're tiny and they can drink blood, that's essentially just a vampire.
Yeah. And in issue number 2, they had to face off against some mosquitoes. And they talked about how mosquitoes are super dangerous, especially at that size. They're very menacing.
Also in this, he's going to be with the mysterious spider witch, Wista, by his side, who we met in the last one. They were in that arena together.
I don't think we found out her name, though.
I don't think so. That's yeah, Wista. And yeah, it also mentions like a horde of the ant mites are coming to destroy them all. So it's not looking good for Slade. I really hope this gets like a volume 2 announced immediately or just something, because I want this to continue. It feels like 6 issues is not enough.
Oh, that's right. It is only a 6 issue series. I was thinking it was 12 for some reason.
Doesn't that feel small for like, man, they're setting up a lot of stuff. So this is your A cover for that. There is also a Adam Kubert cover.
I dig that one a lot, yeah.
I love those like the beetles they ride on, like the rhinoceros beetles and stuff.
I like his big axe.
Yeah. Next up, we got Big Event Check-In, because you know what's going on? It's One World Under Doom.
Yeah, and this is Doom Academy number 3. And in this one, Zoe fights the monsters of her childhood nightmares, while her friends have to turn to someone that they can't stand for help rescuing her. So I think issue 2 came out today. And if you pick that up, don't miss this one. This is our A cover. There is a Lemos variant. There's a Ron Lim variant. And there is a Wu Chol Li Shaylee Moonpetal variant. That's Shaylee right there.
Next up, we have Doom's Division, issue number 2 of 5. This is cool. Under Doom, Tiger Division has 3 new members, which I think you mentioned they joined in the
first issue, yeah.
Yeah.
And this, them right there, yeah.
Yeah, Wave, Karma, and Arrow, which, man, if you play Marvel Snap, you know what they all do.
I love that. There's so many people who, my son included, who know these characters from Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
But I love, you always go back to Marvel Snap, because there's even more characters, I think, right?
Yeah, you've got Wave, who makes all the cards in your hand cost 4. You got Arrow, when you play her, whatever card they play moves to that location. Karma's not in there yet, but there's plenty of characters to come. So, yeah, the video games have really brought in a new audience and a new appreciation of characters that maybe don't have the biggest spotlight. So we've got our... Oh, it also says their first mission leads them to Japan to stop the resistance being led by Sunfire.
Yeah, and we got a taste of that in the first issue,
Yeah, so that's really cool as well. Here is your A cover. We also have a Betsy Cola cover with Luna Snow and Wave. And a Peach Momoko cover.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Next up is Fantastic Four number 31, or as you can see on the cover, Fantastic 2. Now, I'm a little confused because the story of this one doesn't seem to match this cover, because the Fantastic Four realize that they're losing their powers, and they attempt to recreate the circumstances by which they first received their powers. But it's when safety doesn't get them results, there is a more desperate path available to them, and they take it. But I could have sworn I read something else that said something, or maybe that's like a downed spaceship or something, because they do wind up, Reed and Sue do wind up facing off against gender swapped versions of themselves. So there's like a female Reed and a male Sue right there, with their own, with those powers. So I'm not quite sure how that cover reconciles with this story, but it's still going to be awesome. I can't wait to read it, though. This is our A cover. There's a Gia Russo Marvel Universe connecting variant. We're back around to the A.
Yeah, because there's Abomination, and we saw his arm on the other one.
I thought, didn't it start in the A's? I don't remember what the first one of these was.
But you've got, what's his face? The
Absorbing Man right there. Angel.
Atuma back there.
It's not Atuma.
Ant-Man. Nihilus
on into
Batrock, so it's
on into the bees.
So that's really interesting. It'll be interesting to.
Arcade is back there in the back.
Once these actually start hitting the store to figure out.
Because I don't think we've seen any of these yet, right?
Not yet.
We need to get them all and line them up.
I think that's Beast's feet at the bottom.
Oh, I bet it is. Yeah. Sorry, we got totally sidetracked. There's a Disney What If homage variant. And there's a Sean Galloway Saturday Morning variant.
That's cool. I thought those were over too, but nope.
So going strong.
Next up, we have a Red Hulk number 3. I don't want to spoil what happens in this issue, but you can imagine they are going to be breaking out of this prison that Doom has kept them in. But it's not going well because, of course, Thunderbolt Ross doesn't have. He's out of juice. He cannot transform into Red Hulk. And they're being pursued by a huge, I don't even want to, they're Doombots, but Doombots have decided they have a new special skill they can do.
Something I've never seen them do before.
No. And so can Machine Man and Deathlock fend off these Doombots and hopefully give Red Hulk enough time to maybe build up some energy. I almost wonder, given what happened, if it's going to be we've got to run the clock down until maybe the sun peaks over over the mountains. So can't wait for this. Still looks super cool. We've got our A cover here. We have a Ben Harvey cover where Doom is force choking.
Yeah, right.
And a John Jiang cover as well.
That looks phenomenal. Next up is Thunderbots Doomstrike number 3, and in this one, Bucky and Songbird, Sharon Carter, and the Midnight Angels launch a daring plan to target Doom's supply of the thing they found on his train in the issue that came out this week. I don't want to tell you what it is. I thought it was cool, though. At the end, they're like, hey, we found out what the thing on the train is. And I was like, whoa, what is Doom going to use that for? That's right.
He's got to feed his army with a bunch of Twinkies.
Yeah, so they're going to try to disrupt the supply of that thing. And they're going to have to get through the Thunderbolts first. But they're the Thunderbolts, right? So it says Thunderbolts versus Thunderbolts. So there's, I guess Doom maybe has like another team of Thunderbolts in reserve. If you've been reading the series, there is one member of the, well, kind of, sort of one member of the original Thunderbolts, kind of, not quite, but kind of, who has been sort of their foil throughout this. And if this covers any indication, they're going to have to go up against Atlas, and I don't remember the Mach 5 was his name, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember his name. But yeah, so this should be really cool. This has been my favorite of the tie-ins. Like, I think this has been a good tie-in series. So if you want to, if you're enjoying the main series and wondering which other ones you should read, I do recommend this series. It's really good. That's our A cover, and there's a Mark Bagley cover also, which is very fitting since he was the original artist on the original Thunderbolts.
Is it Corsair at the bottom?
No, that's the guy. That's I don't remember. Not Beetle. I think it was like the Tinkerer, but his Thunderbolts identity.
Okay.
I wish I could remember. It's like Tech something. I don't remember his name.
Way too much like Corsair.
Yeah, it's the goatee and the red and the blue. Yeah.
Next up, we have continuing stories. Starting off with Flash issue number 20. We want to highlight this one because it is a new Flash event beginning here called Bad Moon Rising, as the moon becomes a battleground with Wally and his family, and Wally's new ability to make, he calls them temps, temporary versions of himself, so he can duplicate himself almost like Multiple Man. And he is, but because he's doing that, it's kind of spreading him thinner and thinner. as he is facing off against Eclipso on the other side,
That's cool.
who has taken a new form, it says.
Okay.
I don't know if we've seen that yet, but sounds really cool.
I like Eclipso, yeah.
Yeah, me too. They need to release the issue that has a big old gem on it that makes it impossible to put in your comic box.
Right.
This is your A cover. We have a Jeff Spokes cover, which I love what Eclipso does to you, where you there's an eclipse on your face. There is a Lyrics Lee cover and a Danny Earls cover, which that's pretty sick too.
The only thing I don't like that new costume.
Yeah,
take him back to the red, or you can maybe zhuzh it up a little bit, but it's weird. I don't know. It's too busy.
It looks like a special missions costume.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot going on there. Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm making some notes here.
Don't be sorry.
I know, right? Next up is Solomon Kane, the Serpent Ring #2. And not a lot of information about this, just says that Solomon Kane and the band of rogues that have sort of formed around him, they battle from the Barbary Coast across southern Europe to the canals of Venice in search of the fabled Serpent Ring of Set.
We still haven't got the first issue of this.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't remember seeing this, but yeah, so here's the second issue. And this is our A cover. There's a Keanan cover. There's a Patrick Zurcher cover. And a Scott cover.
Next up, we got Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, issue #3 of 5. So in this one, this is the part where they go to investigate the ruins of the Death Star. And there's the epic clash between Kylo and Rey in the shadow of the Death Star. I've really been enjoying this as it expands upon the movies with added scenes and internal dialogue and all of that. So don't miss out on this one as well. We've got our A cover here. We have a movie variant and a Rosanus variant, which I'll definitely be getting.
And we have Universal Monsters The Mummy #2. The first issue came out this week. You read it and you really enjoyed it. 10 years so I guess maybe there's a 10-year time jump, because it says 10 years later Helen Grosvenor surprisingly reconnects with her past at Cairo's most famed museum. And nothing can prepare Helen for the truth as she's confronted by an unexpected arrival who may be friend or foe or something else entirely.
Interesting.
Yeah, so don't miss out.
There's already a time jump in the first one, but only time jump to where she was like 16. I feel like there's maybe going to be a time jump to where she's like 26.
Yeah, maybe she looks older than 16 there. Maybe that's it. This is our A cover. We have a Ryan Sook variant, and that's it.
Next up, I want to mention Mouse Guard, Dawn of the Black Axe. I read this. We didn't get a chance to read it for the show because it came in late last week, but I got it, and this is phenomenal. I love this. This would probably end up being one of my picks of the week.
Wow.
It is so much fun. Just the whole Mouse Guard universe is incredible. The art is incredible, and just this like epic fantasy world. If you're a fan of stuff like Red Guard or Warriors or stuff like that, you will love this. Even I love in the end of it was sketches of the different rooms the characters are in.
Wow.
And about like, this is the room, this is the door this character comes through, this is the door, this, and it almost feels like you could build a miniature out of like the schematics in the end of this and stuff. It's so cool. With Gabriel Rodriguez on art, who is the artist back from Lock and Key. It's just beautiful. As we have our mouse here, Bardrick, the first wielder of the Black Axe. He continues his campaign against the serpents surrounding the mouse territories. They have a map of the territory, and they have these little like, figurines of snake heads, and they like plot them around their things. Nice. They're like, this is the Black Adder, and this is the whatever, and he fights one of the snakes in the first issue. It's just phenomenal. We've got our A cover here, and a Peterson variant here, who is, of course, your writer and creator of Mouse Guard.
Oh, and next is... Sorry, I thought we were moving on to the next section. Out of Alcatraz #2. You read the first issue for our Monday show. And in this one, there's characters Frank and Clarence and their secretive handler. They were supposed to be laying low after escaping from Alcatraz, but the bodies are already starting to pile up. The FBI wants this case closed, and the escapees declared dead so that they can close it. But there's one rogue U.S. Marshal that has a lurking suspicion that might just bring the full weight of history crashing down on them. So you like this really well.
Yeah, right? I was kind of like, before I read it, I was like, I mean, there's no like magic in this. There's no fantasy element. So I wonder if I'll like this. And it was like a double-sized issue, and I read it like real fast. It's the really intense.
Yeah.
And
Not trying to get through it, but it just reads quickly.
Yeah, it reads quickly. It doesn't. It's not a slog.
Yeah.
And yeah, the intensity level and the drama of this is awesome. Yeah, I thought the first issue was great, and yeah, I definitely want to check out issue number 2.
Nice. This is our A cover, and there's an Oliver Dominguez variant.
And next up, we have cover gallery. Some really cool covers we want to make sure you see. Starting with Black Canary Best of the Best, number 6 of 6. This is the final issue of the series, and this is the Belen Ortega cover, who's your artist every time we meet Trinity in Wonder Woman, and I believe who's doing the new Trinity series. So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
This is Green Arrow number 23, and this is the Annie Wu April Fool's variant. These coming through like the fly paper.
Yeah, that's cool. Next up, we have Green Lantern, issue number 22. This is the Mercado variant with Star Sapphire.
This is Harley Quinn number 50. This is the David Nakayama variant, and we also have a Nubovich variant, and we have a David Nakayama April Fool's variant also. So 2 Nakayama covers on the same book. That's pretty interesting.
That's pretty intense. Next up, we have Metamorpho, the Element Man number 5. This is the B cover, the Christian Ward cover, which I feel like his art style lends so perfect to Metamorpho.
Next, we have Power Girl number 20, and this is the Scott Forbes variant.
Very fashion-y. Next up, because I had to look at it, you do too. This is Hello Darkness number 10. This is the Frizzen cover, and just the worst.
Let's move on.
No, stare at it.
This is Rogue the Savage Land number 4. This is the Ivan Talavera variant, and we have the J. Scott Campbell cover.
Yep, I've been getting all the Campbell covers. It's so good. Next up, we got Bookshelf. These are big old books you can put on your shelf, but hopefully you read them first. Starting with Batman Detective Comics, the New 52 Omnibus Volume 1. This was a really interesting series back when the New 52 started, because you had Scott Snyder on Batman, which was huge. Like, that was, still held in such high regard. This was kind of a sleeper hit, but it didn't take too long before this became really popular as well. You had Tony Daniel on writing and art, I believe, at the beginning. This is the story where Joker cuts off his own face, which played out for years.
Yeah, for years when we would see Joker, like, he got it back, but we would see him, like, it would had a strap, and he would, like, wear it like a mask.
It's very creepy and became a very iconic look, and this is where that happened. This also has collects issues 0 through 24, Detective Comics Annual 1 and 2, and the Penguin Pain and Prejudice 1 through 5. It has the whole mini-series of another series in here, but there was a big Penguin story that happened during this. It was really interesting as well. So you can get this whole thing for $125.
And next, we have DC Finest, Catwoman, Vengeance, and Vindication. This is another DC Finest book. I really like these, and I'm glad that they're putting all these out. This is going to be $39.99 and collects Catwoman. This is the series that ran through the 90s. Jim Balin did a lot of the art. Collects Catwoman number 0, and then 13 through 32, plus several other like Bat-related books that Catwoman showed up in at that time. It was too many to write down, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff in this too.
I always liked this Catwoman.
Yeah, I like that
for Catwoman and everything. The purple I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and it ran for a long time too. I mean, it was really popular.
Next up, I'm really excited about this. I've already pre-ordered this. This is Tomb Raider Colossal Collection hardcover Volume 1. And these are very hard to find now because, one, the licensing of it, and also this has some of the most collectible Adam Hughes covers for some of these issues. So, even if you tried to piece together the collection, it is very hard. This was written by Dan Jurgens, and the art is by Michael Turner, Adam Hughes, Andy Park, Francis Manapul did a lot of it. The Francis Manapul issues are incredible.
Yeah.
This is so cool. This collects issues 1 through 24, and 26 through 34. It does not contain issue 25 because that was actually the start of the crossover with Witchblade.
Oh, okay.
So there may be some. Apparently, that wasn't collected even in some of the older collected editions. It must be a licensing thing, or if you just want to get Tomb Raider without all the extra bits, that's what this has in it. But yeah, and this is just volume 1. I don't know how long this series ran. It might be, you might get 2 volumes out of this. But this is $100, $99.99 for this, and yeah, I think this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm for sure going to pre-order this and that's a Jim Lee cover, right? It looks like Jim Lee.
It's something like that. But yeah, this was like, if you really want like an Indiana Jones style adventure book, this had her going after kind of mystical artifacts and real world artifacts and all of that, going up against CIA agents, and it's just super
Plus,
cool.
that lineup of artists, Michael Turner, Francis Manapul, Adam Hughes, come on. This is going to be gorgeous.
And lastly, we've got new printings and some really great ones on this.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of new printings for Absolute Batman. So this is Absolute Batman #1, the 6th printing. We have a
it's the variant.
Yeah, so this is also a 6th printing variant by Dan Mora that is a connecting cover, and there's a foil version of this too.
It looks like that, yeah.
That looks like that, yeah. There's also Absolute Batman #2, the 4th printing, and then the 4th printing by Tony Daniel, which also looks awesome. He's got his axe out there.
Yeah.
There's Absolute Batman #3, 3rd printing, which that was, I think, one of the panels in the book, if I'm not mistaken. And there is a variant to that by Gabriel Delato,
which is a wraparound.
So yeah, lots of new printings for Absolute Batman. I actually have heard from some folks that they slept on it a little bit, so it's good that if you're one of those folks, jump on this because because this is fantastic.
Also, we got to talk about Absolute Superman #1, the 4th printing of #1, which is going to be great because I think we sold out of it. This is the regular cover, and you've got the connecting Dan Mora cover as well. I like the texture he did on the fiery bits.
Yeah.
You see the energy.
Plus, Superman's a little bit caked up there,
Ooh, yeah. Well, can't argue with that.
And then we have Absolute Wonder Woman #1, the 5th printing. This is the regular cover for that, and then we have the Dan Mora connecting variant. That may be my favorite of the 3 Dan Moras, and of course, just like the others, there is a regular and a foil version of this. I really try not to get multiple printings of books that I've already bought, but I am definitely going to be ordering all 3 Dan Mora foil covers because, come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, too good.
Yeah.
And that is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Like we mentioned, we are doing this a little bit early. We'll be posting it at the normal time, but some things could change. They may be pushed to another week or something, but your orders still count no matter what. So have fun perusing on there and pre-ordering some of these awesome books at infinityflux.net. Plus, check out all the other cool stuff that is on there as well. But don't miss out on pre-ordering some of these books because I imagine with the success of Absolute Martian Manhunter, issue #2 is going to be even hotter as people kind of scramble to catch up to that. I know the Godzilla versus X-Men is going to sell out.
Yeah, Hush 2.
There's some incredible stuff on this week's worth of books, so don't miss out on pre-ordering the ones that you for sure want. And stay tuned for all of our other really cool videos, like our video coming up on Monday. We'll be going over some of the big books coming out next week. I'm not even sure. Oh, we've got Absolute Green Lantern.
That's right. Which is our favorite of the 3 new ones. So if you've been enjoying Flash and Martian Manhunter, just wait, because I think the best one is yet to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff ahead. Again, thank you for watching.
Be sure to like and subscribe also. We are less than 50 subscribers away from 4,000. We would love to have you in our family.
Is it awkward if I just stare at you?
A little bit,
Yes.
So please subscribe, I guess.
Subscribe. I don't know. Or else I'll stare at you.
Yeah.
Please subscribe. That would mean the world to us. But until next time.
See ya.
Bye.